What is up, guys? It's time for an alternative paper review. Are you ready? I'm psyched. Let's do this. Today we're asking questions about virtual GP appointments, a rogue government minister, and somebody is about to label a member of the royal family a racist. Let's get it. First up, the only paper to cover the bubbling and brimming pot of waste that is Tory Mutiny is the Eye. And they're saying that Robert Jenrick, who is the immigration minister, is going a bit rogue. Now, essentially what this is Suella Braverman was sacked. Braverman was seen as a bit of a radical, fire-breathing lunatic. Her replacement, James Cleverly, was sort of cooling the Rwanda rhetoric over the weekend. And in response to that now, you've got the Bravermanite right, inclusive of Robert Jenrick, spitting their dummy, completely forgetting the concept of collective responsibility, which is where the cabinet are supposed to all sign up together like this is all of us and we will all stand united and back each other up. Well, this is them, or, Team Braverman, we should call them, attempting to cause Rishi Sunak some embarrassment. It's probably the first green shoots of attempting to oust him. Just to really hammer this home, right? Jenrick is not the Home Secretary, right? He works for James Cleverly, who is the Home Secretary now. So it is really weird to see somebody that kind of junior put their head above the parapet and say, oh, we should do my plan. Like, chill out, Bobby. Last time you had a plan, it didn't so much reduce net migration as make a few refugee children cry for a bit. Meanwhile, the Telegraph have got quite the scoop, because they're saying patients who were seen via virtual GP sessions were sometimes misdiagnosed, and a few of them died. I mean, as ever, the solution to this is pay nurses more, increase facilities, open new hospitals. Like, I can't think of any situations where I would feel sick enough to want to be seen by my doctor, but yet relaxed enough about the condition where it's fine, we'll just do it by Zoom. Like, imagine you found a lump on the back of your fish tanks and they inspect it over Skype, and then 6 months later, they're like, yeah, funny story, really. When you showed it to me on the video conference, I thought it was a current from my breakfast just on my screen. And no, it turns out the mole is cancerous. You've got about 3 months. Meanwhile, the Mirror latch on to a modern tale of free speech. Basically, do you remember when Meghan made the allegation that a senior royal had asked about her unborn baby's skin colour? Basically, showbiz journalist Omid Scobie has written a book about the couple called Endgame, which is fine. But it appears the Dutch translation of that book kept the name of the royal in it. Cue the Dutch publisher panic pulping about 10,000 copies. Amazing, isn't it? It's free speech until someone says something slightly off about a royal. The second thing that gets me about this is, like, why does a Dutch publisher care at huge expense to themselves what the English royal family think? It's the Dutch translation copy. It was printed in Europe, right? So if the English royal family phone you and you're the Dutch publisher and they go, yeah, we don't like what you included in the book, you should just go, well, I don't care, because you're an English lawyer, you're operating under the UK legal system, and I didn't publish it in the UK. Reminds me of that time the FBI rocked up to some place in France or Germany or something, and they were like, yo, we're the FBI, we're here to ask you some questions. And the person was like, well, I don't have to answer them, because you're the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation. You're way outside of your jurisdiction, all right? Finally, the whole idea of pulping a book because you don't want some information getting out, that is so your dad trying to operate the Amazon Fire Stick. Pulping, hard copy, books. We're not living in, like, 1995 anymore. If something's been written in a now, let's assume, illegal Dutch copy of this book, it's going to get out. And it's going to get out faster now. It's like the Streisand effect. Like, you've drawn attention to these. I mean, how many are they pulping? 10,000? You're telling me that one guy in the pulping factory isn't going to, like, hide a little copy? How much would that book go for now? That they've drawn this much attention to it and that the contents are this scandalous. It's like the book that the woman wrote about Nicole Brown through the OJ trial. It was like My Friend Nicole. But the contents of it were so scandalous that I think that was then withdrawn from sale. And copies of that book now go on Amazon and eBay for like $10,000. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe in terms of fighting accusations that they're a load of hardcore racists, Maybe a good old-fashioned book burning is just what the royal family need. Maybe having tens of thousands of copies pulped will actually restrict this information from getting out. Or do you think it will find its way definitely onto Twitter, probably within the next 48 hours? As always, let me know in the comments below. And do you know what? I've got a YouTube community, like members area now. So there's Patreon and there's the YouTube like members bit. So if you're in a position to support me, the punk politics videos, the podcast, all of the stuff that I put out, and you want to get episodes of the podcast 2 days before everyone else and come to the London meetups and get first dibs on live shows, then consider jumping on patreon.com/AidThompson or have a look at the join bit on my YouTube. All right, take care, guys.